Welcome back! This is the second video in my new songwriting series where I ask my friends their ridiculous stories and then I write a song about it. Today we have Anton telling us his story. I asked him to tell me a story that was funny but also one that he thought I would struggle to write a song about. I wanted it to be a challenge, so I'm excited to hear what he's got for me. I asked him to tell me one that I didn't already know so that it would be a surprise for both of us. So I'm just gonna call him now and then we can hear the story. Hello! I'm excited to hear what you have for me.
This is my story of when I got pranked in the Maldives, going to school at Bali at the time. Basically, what that means is that every year I was supposed to do like 60 hours of action, so some sort of like sport, 60 hours of like creative, and 60 hours of community service. And at the end of the year, right before summer, I got told basically like, well, you haven't done your community service, so unless you do it during the summer, you're not going to be able to graduate and move on. You're going to have to repeat the grade. And so I was like, oh, totally forgot about that. And my parents at the time were trying to find a place to go on holiday. So we went to the Maldives, and there just happened to be a marine biologist. That marine biologist was doing some research around the reef. So it was a small island, and half of the reef was dead, and the other half of the reef was alive. So he was doing some research about like why that's the case and it could be reversed. So when I arrived, basically I met this guy and he was going to sign off my paper that I did 60 hours community service. In order to do that, I guess I better do some actual work. And basically for the whole time that I was there, he just showed me around. We went free diving, I went on his boat, and then we just had a really fun time. They were trying shock therapy on the coral to see if they could bring it back to life. So it was a really cool experience, and basically there was a point in it where I was out at sea and he was on the boat, and I got stung by a jellyfish. I didn't know it at the time, and then I felt this weird tentacle on me. I thought it was going to like scrape it off, and I saw it on my hand. It was like a kind of gelatinous, clear-looking tentacle, and I was like, what the hell? It was like kind of stinging. And I had like bumps and raised all over my arm, like a tribal tattoo. Like it was like raised, and I was like, what the hell? He was like, oh, you got stung by a jellyfish. And I was like, yeah. So what do I do? He was like, well, you don't know what to do. Have you not heard before? You're supposed to pee on yourself when you get stung by jellyfish. And I was like, oh yeah, I have heard that. So I'm on the boat, and he's like, I won't look. We'll just pee on your arm. And I was like, all right, fine. And I started trying to pee on my arm. And then he's like, are you doing it? I was like, yeah, I am. I'm literally on my arm right now. And I just hear on the other end of the boat laughter. He just starts bursting out into laughter. I can't believe that you just on your arm. You don't need to piss on your arm. Mess up with you. So that was the prank. Made me piss on my arm. For some species of jellyfish, you are supposed to pee on the body part, but not this type of jellyfish. Like this type of jellyfish, you need to pour near boiling water on you. So when we got back to land, he poured like near boiling water on my arm.
The first thing I was gonna ask you when you said about being stung is if you weed on it to make it better.
Here it is.
How am I gonna write a song about that? Writing a song about my friend weeing on himself.
That actually sounds hilarious. I'm intrigued to see what the outcome is. And I feel like it's thrown you a really hard one now, actually.
It is difficult, but that's good though. I wanted a challenge. I'll report back in about a week. See you soon, thank you. Bye. That is a crazy story to write a song about. He definitely understood the brief when I said I wanted a challenge. But I'm actually really excited about this story. I love how it starts with a problem. You know, it starts with him needing to somehow complete these 60 hours of community service over summer or else he won't graduate the year. I think it's great that he solves this by finding this random marine biologist whilst he's on holiday in the Maldives. And then the biologist guy turns into a hero figure because he saves the day and solves Anton's problem. I also really like the imagery in this story just because it's set in the Maldives, which is obviously really beautiful. Obviously there's the bit about him being humiliated by this guy, which for me I think is going to be the most challenging part to write about just because it's so literal. I don't know how I'm going to be able to twist that. Ooh, I think I just need to try and get started. So my initial thoughts are it would be nice if The story started by Anton travelling to the Maldives and running the problem over in his head and trying to think of a way to get around it. So I'm just going to start by writing down a couple of ideas of things I want to include in the first verse. So I was thinking of how I could bring in the words 60 hours, because obviously that's the length of time that Anton is supposed to fulfill his like community service. I've got this lyric in my head of like, at least I get a couple hours to figure out the 60 more. Now I just need the first line for that. Usually you travel with the sunrise or the sunset. Day rhymes well with playing. Okay, I think that's a good like rough sketch for the first bit. When I went to the Maldives, we had to get a boat from where we landed in Mali. So I was thinking for the second half of the first verse, it could be about him on the boat. And the first line needs to sort of have an A sound. So I was thinking just one boat to the bay. And then I wanted to bring in the idea of him finding a way out of his problem. I think I found a way out. So the next line needs to rhyme with more. I was thinking I could use the word shore just to like introduce the beachy element. Along the lines beside the... I think we've got a rough first verse there. I might try and sing through this a bit. I want it to feel quite light and breezy to like reflect, I guess, how the Maldives feels. So yeah, definitely major. It's getting late in the day. I hop on a plane again, 'cause at least I get a couple hours. Think I found a way out along the lines of the shore. And I know that I want the pre-chorus to be about him seeing like the hero figure for the first time. Let me think of some words for that. I'm gonna ask Anton what this guy looked like. So Anton said that he's tall, so I was imagining like this tall shadow across the beach that Anton sort of sees before he sees the actual guy. I'll see his silhouette stretch across the beach. Anton's like wondering if he'll help him out. I'm imagining Anton asking him whether he can work with him, and the marine biologist saying, well, do you know anything about science? Like, do you know about biology? And Anton is just pretending like he does. Like, yeah, of course I know. Ask me if I know about the meaning. And then I say, Winnie! Should we write the song? I think I've got enough ideas for the pre-chorus now as well. I just need to go away and think about the chorus.
This song starts with the keys, little Rhodes patch, some phase and some modulation. Got the vocal, some finger snaps, stereo double tracked obviously. The bass part, pick, muted bass, classic me, sort of crunchy, slow attack. In the drums we've got quite a distorted kick. Sounds good to me. Here we've got lots of double tracked BVs. Hawaii Beach Club hula hoop vocals.
What? I thought it sounded like an African choir.
Sort of like boopity beep beep boodoo beep beep.
Under the sea.
Oh yeah, angelic. Doubling of the lead vocal as well. Guitar went for like a sort of 2 pickup vibe, Toto 80s. Stereo chorus from this, UAD Brigade. It's really just a chill guitar part, a little bit jangly as well. I love a little high keys. Super wobbly, lots of old school stereo delay, stereo wobblies. Sax solo. I wanted to make this sound kind of like weird and vintage and like 80s. And we've got some jazzy chords. I like it, I think it's a sick tune.
So obviously I got some ideas together for the chorus in the end. One of my favourite lyrics is "Simple biology will cut it this time." I just think the humour in it reflects the story quite well. With the second verse that was about him actually getting weed on, I feel like what I came up with for the lyrics in that was a good balance between telling the story and then being subtle. But you can be the judge of that when you hear the full song. How do you feel about the song? Are you excited to hear what we've done?
I'm super excited to hear what you've done.
Which parts do you think that I picked up on and developed?
Surely went with stuff to do with the ocean and the sea.
Like
and
more imagery.
Yeah, like kind of like that kind of imagery, maybe the waves.
I came up with this insinuation of, you know, like the phrase, oh, you're taking the piss. So the sort of hooky part at the end of the chorus is life is an exchange. If he gives, what will he take? And the answer is obviously the piss, and we know that because we know the story, but that was kind of my way of just like referencing the piss, but without actually talking about it.
But you can't,
In terms of the general vibe of the song, we went for something that was a little bit more groovy. It's got like a humour to it as well. I think I did it slow, fast,
Tempo.
ballad.
I think like maybe a little faster. Yeah, maybe like that.
That's pretty spot on actually. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Why am I? I'm literally nervous. I don't know why.
nervous.
It's getting late in the day. I'll hop on a plane again, 'cause at least I get a couple hours to figure out the 60 more. Just one boat to the bay. Never thought I'd say it, but I think I found a way out along the lines of the shore. I see his silhouette stretch across the beach. Wonder if he'll lend a hand to me. Asks me if I know about the reef, and I say absolutely. There's this one thing holding me back again. The resolution arises. Simple biology will cut it this time. I know that life is an exchange. If he gives, then what will he take? Oh, what will he take? Out on the water one day, I look down in dismay, 'cause it's so tender on my forearm. Never stung like this before. Offers me his way. The knife's in my face and says, I can't believe you're doing that. Rushing back to the shore. I see his silhouette stretch across the beach. Wonder if he'll lend a hand to me. Asks me if I know about the reef, and I say absolutely. There's this one thing holding me back again. A resolution arises. Simple biology will cut it this time. I know that life is an exchange. If he gives, then what will he Oh, there's this one thing holding me back again. A resolution arises. Simple biology will cut it this time. I know that life is an exchange. If he gives, then what will he take?
Oh,
That was so good.
so good. My favorite part has to be the reef. Oh, do you know about the reef? Absolutely.
Yeah, so my idea with that bit was like you pretending to know more about what he was doing than, because I imagine.
I still do that.
Yeah.
I still do that. You'd point out all this stuff to me and be like, do you know what this is? And I'd literally be like,
Okay, well I have the lyrics written out for you to look at. It's It's mad that you can turn any story into a song, and like the ability to like take a step back and like craft it into a story for a song is actually quite cool. There must be so many things that you could just make a song out of, like based on your everyday.
So the thoughts on the words, I see what you mean by making it like a proper story. Like
Yeah.
it is a whole story, which is actually really great. I really like the chorus because it's just literally about why I was there. I think I found a way out along the lines of the shore. I think that's like quite cute. So good.
I'm glad that you like it. I'm like waiting for the day that I do one of these videos and the person like hates it and it's like this
Oh
can't
my
go on the
God.
internet.
Yeah.
I really want all the songs in the series to actually be good songs, like it's not
Yeah.
meant to be a joke. This is
you
Millie,
want the
my
lyrics?
darling
Yeah,
sister.
sure.
Millie recommended that Anton tell me this story.
I just thought this was quite a novel thing because who goes and does work experience on an island in the middle of nowhere doing marine biology like most people go and do work in a charity shop? Do you know what I mean? I really liked your play on the 60 hours. Life is an exchange. If he gives them, what will he take? I thought that was interesting as well because it's a bit deep. No, but do you know what I mean? I think that bringing in life more broadly is interesting because I think volunteering is something that dictates someone's life in the future as well.
He gave his time and generosity and all of that, but then it's quite funny that he was generous enough, but then also it came at a cost.
Yeah, so true.
So, thanks for listening.
You're welcome. I really liked it. I thought it was awesome.
Thank you for coming on the songwriting series. Maybe one day it will be out for people to listen to properly, but for now this exists only on YouTube. If you want to see more of these types of videos, please subscribe because it really goes a long way.
Subscribe.
Or drop a comment and let me know what your favourite bit of the song was, or if you'd have written any of it differently, or whether you thought it was bad.
Or whether you've had to piss on yourself. Too.
Yeah, whether you've
Yeah.
had a similar experience, you know.
Yeah.
Get in touch because Anton will feel better about himself if you made the same mistake, so. Bye!
Bye.